Hey guys, this is episode 3 of Redbeard Talks, and we've got my buddy
Lendin, Brenden.
He's back again, guys.
Dude, congratulations on episode 3, man.
Thanks.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm having fun with these.
Who are you looking to get on next? Like, do you have a lineup?
So I'm thinking about Billy, who owns Stonehouse, and he also owns what's the place in Pottstown?
Harris Hill, baby.
Harris Hill, where you sling some drinks.
I do indeed. Friday nights, 5 to 10.
Does he own any other place? He did own your mom's, right?
Yeah, he owned your mom's. That's
okay. So he just has 2 places now.
Yep.
I feel like he'd be a good. I think where these episodes are going to be going.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like some of the Redbeard episodes are going to share space with the off the record.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be diving into business owners that are involved in the music scene, so they still have
solid.
Like Billy.
Billy is a great person.
I don't know if you've been to his little private party that he has.
Ellis Woodstock.
Yes. I've been to that. Yeah, it is.
I don't remember my one and only Ellis Woodstock.
That means you were at it. Yeah. It's so for those of you that don't know, Billy has, I don't know what, like 5 acres or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. It's a decent space.
It's a decent sized property. And I think he has like what, a house and like a barnish or like,
yeah, call it like a party barn.
A party barn, and he does these like
mini festivals.
Yeah, it's like a mini festival. They'll have like 10 bands play throughout
all day.
And they'll go till 2 in the morning. All the neighbors are there. Mm-hmm. People camp out. People bring their RVs. Like it's kind of like legit. A Kimberton Woodstock.
Yeah,
it's cool. And then he has like a big like I want to say like it's at least 50 feet around, like a little like
talking about the stage.
The sand pit.
Oh, he put in a pool and I think like a fire pit and like a tiki bar looking thing now. So I don't know if that was in the mix when you.
No, I heard he was. Yeah. I heard about the pool coming possibly.
Yeah, so it's here.
Dude, all right. Yeah, I'm done. Mm-hmm. Maybe I should film. So that's another thing I'm thinking about doing with Off the Record is like you film live at concerts or at festivals, like have a booth or whatever.
Okay.
And just have people come in and out and like just do interviews, but like also I could do that for small little local festivals as well.
That would be great for like local bands and everything.
Yeah, and also like business owners as well. So like again, it's gonna kind of be like a team up with like Redbeard and Off the Record, where it's some of these guys are a lot of smart musicians get into owning a business.
Yeah.
Because you can only tour for so many days out of the year, or you only want to tour for a certain amount of days a year sometimes, because touring can be exhausting. So, like if you look at the guys from like...
And the money's not in touring.
All the money is in touring.
But
if you're a family man, like a lot of these bands have kids, they have a wife. Like look at Blink-182. Where are you? Because I'm so... but like they all started businesses. Like Travis has like a merch company.
Oh,
like
sure.
And like he got
Are
really...
they all music adjacent?
If they're not music adjacent, they have sold their stuff through music adjacent avenues. I'll say,
because that's a big pull for Harris Hill is music on Saturday nights. Like, and it's local musician, acoustic. Like he'll have it at both locations, Stonehouse and
he has
Harris
my buddy
Hill.
Steven a lot. Steven plays at the Alley a lot.
Kurtz?
What's his last name?
Curly-haired guy?
Yeah, long hair, yeah.
I'm trying to get him to play my wedding.
Dude, he's a great dude.
Yeah, he's wonderful.
Wonderful
guy.
Do you know the movie The Little Detectives? It was shot locally around here.
I'll just say yes. I'll say yes for
Chad Repko. I forget his Repko. I think is like.
Sure.
Well, they just filmed their second one.
Okay.
And basically it's his son and his son's friend playing detectives. So it's like very. And when they filmed the first one, they were like 12.
Okay.
Like now they're 21.
Feels like an It kind of thing.
Yeah, it was very like campy, like kind of ironic, funny. But I filmed, I did one of the last scenes on the movie for them, and it was at Steven's house. He lives like in South Pottstown, like out in the middle of the. I mean, it looks like central Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
there.
farm.
It's like right. it's only 3 miles from downtown Pottstown, 3 or 4 miles. So it's like it goes from very urban, scary sometimes in Pottstown to like, oh man, like there might be wolves out here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But
I've taken a look at his property. It's like acres upon acres. It's nothing.
And it lines up to I think the people around him are like a family that own. Like, like the kids have 20 acres, and the parents have 30 acres.
That's the dream, dude. Land in the mountains.
That's
the dream.
That's not even the mountain. That is the dream because you're not in the mountains. You're not like it almost looks like you're out in the middle of like the Poconos or something like that, but you're 5 minutes from a Walmart. You know, like that's when you bought like really cheap. Like people that bought in Pottstown like 10 years ago now.
Pottstown's still pretty affordable if you can stomach the reputation. It is very affordable around here.
That's the thing is I'm seeing a lot of I have a friend that she just like, recovering addict. She's got like 3 kids, so she has a small place in Pottstown. Yeah. I've been helping her out lately, and she's like right near the 7-Eleven, so like on 3rd. Mm-hmm. So she's like, if you don't know Pottstown, the 7-Eleven was where all the action happened in the news. Yeah. It was like every other week they're like shooting at 7-Eleven. It was always there was a gun involved. Yeah. There was some sort of shooting, some sort of like gang-ish like fight in the parking lot. It's definitely cleaned up a lot.
Absolutely.
But that whole area, she had to get like milk, so I walked down there with her and her kid, and I'm like just looking at all the houses and everything, and there's a lot of real estate agents that are buying in Pottstown right now because they know like the people that have owned those buildings for decades, and they know that in 7 years, Pottstown,
it's due for a boom.
If they keep playing their cards right, they're not doing it perfectly. People have complaints. But, I mean, like, people have complaints about city council with Phoenixville.
Exactly.
But, like, they are pushing to become like Phoenixville. And the thing is, they have a way bigger infrastructure.
They have access to, like, the train and everything.
You can get a semi-truck downtown. Mm-hmm. You can't do that here. Like, you can't...
Oh, no.
Like, the semi-trucks won't fit underneath the bridge over here. Mm-hmm. They won't fit underneath this street on Main Street with the overpass of the old railroad tracks. So, like, Phoenixville is very limited as far as...
Yeah, but we did it.
We did do it, but, like, there's going to be a certain point where it's, like, they can only build up.
Yeah, right.
And, like, we're almost... I mean, look behind us. Where the woods... What do they call it? They call it like the woods or the flats or whatever.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
back, I want to say 50 years ago, it was all like steel and manufacturing area. Mm-hmm. It wasn't woods. It was woods, but it wasn't clean. It wasn't clean. It wasn't
couple trees.
Like you want to go hunting and eat something that lived in there. Right. But that's the thing is like Phoenixville's running out of room, whereas Pottstown has
room to expand.
A whole lot of room.
Yep.
And a whole lot more. Like, all the buildings downtown are way bigger than here.
Oh, yeah.
They're by, like, four times the size of anything we have.
I think the difference or the hurdle that they're going to have to come over is the condition of those buildings. Because I remember, this was back in, like, 2016 or whatever. I was working for Pottstown United, and they were renovating the building to make the brewery. Most recently it was Contessa's, but RIP, whatever.
Yeah.
Logistics, what happened with that?
Yeah. Sad.
I know, dude, that sucks. Bureaucratic red tape. That building, like, just getting it up to snuff for 2016 standards was a lot of work. And then not only the first floor restaurant, basement brewery, but they had a second and third floor that could also have been renovated. And just the condition of the older buildings and everything, it would take some serious doing.
Yeah, that's the thing is it's definitely going to take... I mean, Coatesville is kind of revitalizing now, but they've been trying to revitalize that for like 20 years. Mm-hmm. But it is going to take money because, like you said, it's a lot of big buildings, and they have like 4 or 5 stories, so gonna have to, if they don't have an elevator, even if they do, it probably needs to be redone. And like it's like
you look at the steps around here. Some of the even stairwells or whatever are not up to today's standards.
Mm-hmm.
So, but all we have is time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if someone doesn't come in and make a change, it's not gonna change.
Yeah. Yeah.
New year, new me mentality, right? New me.
Did you set any goals for the new year?
I have a couple. Yeah. I mean, the big one is I'm getting married in August. Like that's massive, right? Yeah. So that's been at the forefront. How long
have you guys been together? It's been
8 years.
8 years.
8 years, and we're down to 8 months.
8 years, 8 months. Hell.
Dude, 8 months, almost to the day. Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
So it'll be like almost like 9 years by the time you guys get married.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, we'll have just crossed that 9-year mark.
That's awesome.
So yeah, phenomenal woman. Don't know how she puts up with me, but
she is a phenomenal woman.
5th grade teacher, and that's all I'll say.
That's how she handles him. 5th grade teacher.
I just prep her. I was prepping her for this role.
She's like, I'm leaving my kid at home. Now I'm going to the kids at work.
6'7".
6'7".
Right. Yeah. So the fun goal is I am going to finally learn how to play the guitar enough just to kind of strum it around like a campfire.
Yeah.
And I know you're a big music dude, so that hits.
Yeah.
Like just want to know a couple chords.
Chords.
Enough to be a little dangerous. And that's the fun goal. Business wise, I'm really just looking to put a lot of love into Phoenixville. Mm-hmm. So like chamber events, stuff like that. There's a new thing called Next Wave that's coming through where it's like the young professionals.
Yeah, I went to their first mixer at 1278. Is that the name of the place?
Yeah, November last year or whatever.
Yeah, it was in it was November.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. How was it?
It was good. It's I've only been to that place one other time. Mm-hmm. It definitely seemed like they have a little crew right now.
Okay.
Like they have who's the one? Megan.
Yeah, Megan.
Who's kind of running it, and then there was another girl. I met her and her fiance or boyfriend, and they were just kind of trying to recruit people.
Yeah, but there's about, I want to say like 8 of us, if I'm thinking correctly, on like this little committee.
Okay.
So they're looking to do some kind of event like once a month.
Right.
And obviously skip over January, first of the year, getting our feet underneath us, whatever.
I would even skip February possibly.
Well, the next one I was in charge of February, so Bluebird on the 12th.
Okay, I'll be.
Yeah, it's like after hours, like a happy hour kind of thing.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I threw out a bunch of ideas that they're working through.
Okay.
So it's gonna be cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's their plan with that organization? Like, what are they trying to do?
So it's more of an accessible way for guys like you and me to get into the chamber.
Okay.
So reduced rates on membership, more like again young professional centric activities, stuff like that. So it's like a little appetizer to the main course.
Okay.
So and not to put you on the spot, but how old are you?
43.
Oh, the cutoff is 42.
Yeah.
No.
Oh well.
No, totally.
Oh well.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a cool thing. But professionally, I'm putting a lot of love into the town of Phoenixville. I think that's really my next kind of adventure. So
that's kind of my goal with this.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you. Yeah, you setting any?
Yeah.
New year, new me.
So I'm back on the weight loss journey.
Oh, sick.
I'm down 12 pounds. So
fantastic.
I started taking GLPs.
Okay.
So, but it's a GLP-3, so it's a little different than what everyone else.
Yeah, the brand is GLP-1.
Yeah, everybody's on GLP-1s and 2s.
3 times as cool.
I'm like, so 3s are a little like. So my dad has a weight loss clinic down in Florida. Mm. I did the website for, and I do like his SEO and stuff. But he switched from red light therapy because he wasn't getting like the clients had to be like dead on, like not like eating healthy, working
gotcha.
there was no cheat days.
Is there any benefit to the red light thing?
Yes, but not as much for weight loss. Like it does help with
depression, right?
It helps with a lot of other things. There's like inflammation in the muscles,
sure,
inflammation in the body. But as far as the weight loss, he was like, my dad's a chiropractor by background, so like he has his diplomate in orthopedics and neurology, which most doctors laugh at. They're really just a chiropractor. I'm like, did the same schooling you did. Like,
it's all medical.
It's straight medical. But he ended up meeting a guy, I think in like Tampa at a business mixer, and the guy, he's part of like a company that specializes in GLP-3s, which are supposed to be a lot more natural to what your body produces.
Cool.
So apparently GLPs are like something your body produces for weight loss. It was originally a diabetic medication, I believe.
The big brand name is Ozempic.
Right.
And it's for, managing blood sugar.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of American pharmaceutical anything.
Oh, you don't say.
I'm just but my dad's been doing it now for like 5 or 6 months. He's been taking it. So like I kind of sat back before I was like I want to try this, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to let him like sell it to a bunch of people and him take it. So now I'm on it, but I didn't have any side effects. Like I have friends that are on like the Ozempic or all those different, and like one of my friends, like she horrible, like nausea, throwing up, couldn't eat. Like
I've heard the stories in my.
I've heard a couple, and I have another girl that I used to date that was taking it, and she puked. Like she got out of the car and puked when I was taking it.
Even if it's prescribed for like the diabetic reasons, there's still all of those. So to hear you say like a GLP-3 is like more natural, that's definitely, I feel like up everyone's alley. Right?
Yeah, and I've been going a little bit lighter on it. Like I only do like 1 shot a week, whereas like my dad's like, you should be doing 2. You're being cheap with it. I'm like,
all right.
I'm like
in time.
I'm doing all right.
Right.
Like,
dude, 12 pounds is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah. So that's my one goal is I'm documenting that for not only for myself but also for like his social media for his company.
How did you? Let's back it up all the way. How did you start in the social media game? I don't think I've ever heard your origin lore.
Musician. Honestly, MySpace. That's
what's MySpace?
MySpace.
Hey kids, our young
MySpace was something when you were a child.
Do you remember your top 8?
Oh man, my top 8 definitely Tom. Good old Tom. Look at
set the stage.
Yeah, it was definitely it's MySpace. Yeah, so I've had people say like, well, I think I'm not gonna hire you. I'm gonna hire this girl. She's been doing it forever. I'm like, oh yeah, forever? Yeah. Oh, tell me more about how long she's been doing it.
Let me blow the dust off of my ThinkPad.
You're right. I just never thought that like 15 years ago, like you would get paid for running social media stuff. But it makes sense.
If you're good at something, don't do it for free.
Well, it's also where's the attention.
Yeah.
It's it's like I remember my uncle being like, "What? People just pay you to sit on their internet all day?" and my cousin said to him like, "Yes, Dad. That's exactly what they do. He gets paid to play around on their internet all day." Yeah. That's how I started. I started working the last job I had was 2013. I started working for a company called 1&1.
Okay.
They're kind of like their biggest competitor was like GoDaddy and like.
Oh sure.
But they had like a do-it-yourself website, and they were hiring. I started doing telesales.
Yes.
Because I couldn't take the outside. We were in the middle of trying to buy a house within the next year. Mm-hmm. You'll know all about this.
I know.
So I couldn't take a job unless it was salary, whereas the outside sales was straight commission. It was just like
stuck in that for 2 years.
Well, luckily, I did 2.5 months at telesales, and the guy that I interviewed for that did all the outside sales for 1&1 across the United States had his eye on me. Him and the 2 guys that ran that, and then like I was killing it. Two and a half months doing telesales, and like I think only one other person lasted as long as I did.
Yeah,
like it's telesales.
You're good at talking to people.
But also telesales is like they're like, we want you to have like 120 calls a day at least.
Oh
like,
yeah.
I mean, it's just straight. And I would come to him and be like, have we thought about doing this or this? And then he's like, just make your phone calls.
Yep.
And I was just like,
back to the basics, dude. Just make your phone calls.
Right. So I was like 2.5 months in, and they came back to me and they're like, all right, we're offering salary now. And so I started selling do-it-yourself websites. Their department for website design, they did like a free little like, give us your logo and pictures, and we'll tell us what you want. Mm-hmm. Sometimes these owners would give them like one picture, not a logo, and come back and be like, I don't like the way the site looks. And it's like, yeah, well, of course you get nothing. So like most of the time I was doing all the web design. So I ended up they got rid of all their sales across the United States in like 3 days. They were just like, all right, we're done. German company.
See, my brain is stuck on, did you get the house?
Yes. Yeah, that was my first like decent paying job.
Sure.
But yeah, so like I basically learned web design from, I mean, I'd already done do-it-yourself websites. They're not
right.
It's not web. It is web design, but it's not a web designer or an IT guy will scoff at you. And then from there, I started Redbeard. I had like 4 or 5 clients. By the time when they fired everyone, I was just like, okay,
sure.
I have to finish my website. I already had my website like almost done, so I just finished it like the next day. Nice. Got business cards.
Did you call Tom?
And Tom.
MySpace Tom.
I did. I said, Tom, we're done. But yeah. I just I kind of had Redbeard was already being fed by like the customers I had from doing websites. Like I had a client, an Allstate agent, and she was just like, I heard Allstate agents are making money from like running their Facebook page. Would you do that for me? And she was a really good client. She wasn't. All the ones that asked me before that were like red flag. Like, I don't want to hear from this person like it would have been like a phone call for every post. I was like, no.
Right.
I was like, absolutely not. Like, that lady's a pain in the ass. And then Susan Garrity, who I called her, she was a queen of the mainline. She's the first female to ever own an insurance company in the United States in the 70s.
That's really cool.
She was from like Manchester, I think Manchester, England area.
Okay.
If you know anyone that is an Allstate agent, you ask them, do you know who Susan Garrity is? If they've been in it for longer than 5 years, they absolutely know her. Like everyone,
that's awesome.
Anywhere on the East Coast, like she is.
That's cool. She's
involved in like 5 different nonprofits.
Sure.
Like everybody on the way. She lives in Wayne. Like everybody knows her. She was my first. I would have to thank Susan because like I had 3 or 4 clients that were like, "Oh, will you like run my Facebook for me?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "No." The website really was enough of a pain in the ass with you. I was like, because like sometimes you get clients and you're just like, "I'm good. I don't need that. I don't need that aggravation for that money." Yeah, like
I get it. My motto is everybody deserves a chance.
Sure.
Sales, right? Like pseudo sales.
Sure.
More of an advisory role, but pseudo sales. I still need the clients to talk to and need the referral partners to get those clients. But
yours is a little different though, because once you're done with it, like they're on. Whereas like mine's like it's like ongoing.
A little bit. Mine's also very ongoing.
Okay.
Like if you can take the loan officer role where it's, hey, you're buying 123 Dream Street. Your mortgage, I'll call you in 2 months, set up your payments, you're done. Whereas the mortgage advisor role is more of, okay, I have your stats now. We bought in, 2023 at a 6.5% rate or whatever it might have been. Okay, hey, the rates are now down to 6%. Here's the difference of monthly savings. Is this something that you're interested in? Right. So you're like, I'm always up to date, watching the market, watching where things are at right now, and
so you're hitting up clients that if they bought it like 6.5%, you're hitting them up when it's down to like 5.5%. Or like,
who doesn't want to save money?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What how much of a drop in interest rate is it worth it? Like, I mean, I know that's a little. I mean, I know that's a little
a little loaded, but
what's worth it to have the conversation for the client?
Rule of thumb, I would say, just to have the conversation, 0.5% is pretty solid.
Really? Okay.
And again, the whole loaded question thing is it depends on the client per se, because you could have what I call serial refinancers where every 0.25% it's worth it to them to keep the monthly payment going, stuff like that. Great example of that is I'm actually meeting this Friday lunch with a guy who he has 6.875 right now, right?
Okay.
So let's just say we drop him to 6.25, and a lot of numbers thrown around. But
sure, right.
All in all, it's about $120 a month in payment savings.
Okay.
Who am I to decide that that's not worth it to him?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but your broad strokes answer is at least check in with your loan people or advisor at 0.5% if you hear that it drops 0.5% lower than what you're paying.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Obviously, the more the better.
Gotcha.
But
what are they floating at right now for like a mortgage?
The national average 6.18.
6.18. Okay.
Right. But who knows when this episode?
What did it go up to? Was it at 8?
I've had people in the 7s. Like the highest I've closed is like 7%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But yes, it was very, very. What's the word I want to? Exponential increase.
Right.
Because everybody, you were sitting at near zero with your 3%, 4%, your 2%.
I think my dad's at like 2.8. He's just like.
Yeah. And you call those guys the golden handcuffs.
Yeah.
Because even if he wanted to move, now it's a financial battle, so to speak, of, okay, my payment's going from $1,200 to $1,800 just for a lateral move.
Right.
So, but there's other reasons you can move too. Like there's the necessities, like divorce is a big one. Unfortunately, death is a big one.
Yeah.
There's job relocations. There's more kids. There's, stuff like that. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I could.
Sorry, you just bulldozed me with the more kids thing.
You having more kids?
No.
They're coming out of the.
No, I'm not.
But
I'm good.
But yeah, like more kids. Kids. Even the other way, kids going off to college. Now you have the downsizers.
Yeah.
Like it really where we're seeing the moves is out of necessity.
Gotcha.
Definitely out of necessity.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, again, this is going to be a loaded question.
I love it.
I'd rather stay away from the politics.
Let's do it.
All the politics of it, but
let's do it.
This 50-year mortgage.
Do you love it? What do you think about it? Like, give me your outsider opinion. Like just from the headlines that you've read.
I haven't read any headlines, but from a financial situation. Here's the thing: is like most people only own a home for 5 years on average.
5 to 7.
5 to 7.
Yep.
So, like you said, if you're a starter family, and you have one kid, but you're looking to have 3 more, or so it would make sense, right? Because right now, who knows how long they're going to have 50-year mortgages?
Right.
They could stop that in 3 years at the end of his term.
Yep.
Or God knows what's going to happen.
Sure.
The whole mortgage thing is just a shell game with finances and money to begin with.
Well, it's taking money from big investors and giving it to the people.
But what I'm talking about is from like me and you going to buy a house. Pulling out a mortgage is a shell game of financial money.
Sure.
And it's the same thing with like millionaires. They do the same thing with their money. Like if they make $2 million, like if you make $2 million a year,
yep,
and you put that into real estate, like you can play this shell game of like you never actually own the $2 million or however much it grows to.
I see what you're saying.
So it's still a financial shell game.
I got you.
That's how
until you make it real, right?
Right, but there's still ways that the rich.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
So that's what I'm saying is like, people are talking shit about it, but a lot of it is it's because it's more of like me and you, like we're not millionaires. It's like it's
not yet.
Not yet, but like it's more of a like, oh yeah, it's like okay, like they're getting more of our money, yes, but like so but I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm like, sure. I understand where sometimes it'll make sense for some people, but it's not for all.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
The thought behind it is pleasant, right?
Right.
Make things more affordable,
accessible for and I in that aspect, I'm like, okay, I'm glad there's another option for people.
Right.
Whether it's the best option, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a mortgage broker.
Allow me to stay.
But guess who I have?
So, couple talking points before we get into the 50-year.
Yeah.
The average home buyer is 40 years old. So, if I give a 40-year-old a 50-year mortgage, they're done paying at 90. Just broad strokes timeline, right?
They keep saying like our generation's going to live to 150, but not with the stress, with the financial stress that we're dealing. We're going to live to like 65.
Pay your mortgage every month, regardless. So
good.
You start a mortgage at 40. You're done 90 years later. The amount, and here's where the negativity comes in.
Yeah.
The amount going towards the principal payment. So what you're actually paying off on the loan.
To the bank, yeah, I know.
On a 50-year mortgage is so minimal. It's like I did a reel, and I can't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but let's just say the first 20 years or whatever the first in the schedule is like only $100 goes to principal.
Right.
So you're saying that people only stay in the home 5 to 7 years. You're not giving yourself the equity that you deserve.
Right.
Where then comes in your shell game, right?
Yep.
You have a $300,000 house, you want to sell it for $300,000 and you want your difference. You take the difference.
Sure.
On a 50-year mortgage, the difference is not that significant. Like you're not paying towards that $300,000 that you're ultimately working towards. Now, all that being said, you do have people out there who one and done. They find the king and queen's castle or the king's castle, whatever, and that's it.
Right.
More affordable monthly wise, sure. But how I advise my clients is, and even on like the standard mortgage products, is the goal is for you not to keep the 30-year mortgage for the full 30 years.
Right.
Eventually, we're going to come into a time where interest rates have dropped and refinancing is a good option and XYZ. So let's look at it from a monthly perspective rather than a full 30-year term perspective.
Right.
So and there's other ways to kind of work the numbers of, you're in a 30-year fixed right now. You paid off 5 years. The house price went up 5% XYZ. Let's look at 15-year options because that cuts, the term in half.
Right, yeah.
And the payment might only be an extra $100 a month.
Right.
So it's a whole financial game, and it's a lot of fun. Do you love talking mortgage? I love talking mortgage.
Not really, but I will.
Yeah. So the end all be all, 50-year mortgages, yes. The thought behind it is a pleasant thought. Make it more affordable, make it more accessible. Is it for everybody? No.
Yeah.
No. Have a game plan. Figure out a game plan.
I mean, hopefully if you're getting a mortgage on a house, you do have a game plan.
I mean, that's step number one, right?
Right. I mean, the advice that I gave when I was in that seat, when I was married 15 years ago, was like I was telling my friends, like, go talk to a mortgage broker. Do you need a guy? And they're like, well, we're not ready for like another year or two. I'm like,
doesn't matter.
I'm like, perfect, because we talked to somebody. It was like a year and a half before we bought, and they were like, okay, this is where you guys are. This is where you need to get to, and like, and that's why I didn't take that sales job, was because it would I would have made more money, but like they didn't have a plan as to when there would be a
right.
So I couldn't.
And commission's tough in my world.
Yeah, sure.
Because you don't know. Commission is very free.
Yeah, I mean, most commission sales jobs, like if you're in sales and you've done job interviews, they're like, and you've taken the jobs and you've been there for like a month, like you've done that, like they turn them, a lot of those jobs, they turn and burn.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. If you don't hit the minimums or whatever that might be.
And sometimes it's not necessarily the fact that the people they're hiring aren't good at sales. Mm-mm. Sometimes it's just a shit product, or it's a horrible execution plan on how they train you to get the sale. Like,
look at the environment we're in too.
Yeah,
everybody's tightening purse strings.
Yeah.
You know, it's the bigger picture coming in.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to buy and I'll just bring it up because we talked about it. I'm not going to buy the GLP-3 because it's $100 more than the GLP-1, and I'm not willing to spend that money on it because, you know, everything's so expensive.
Yeah, I get it.
So, yeah.
I get it. Yeah, people have, yeah.
On the 50-year mortgage thing brought to my mind portable mortgages.
What are portable
mortgages?
Tell me about portable mortgages.
So they follow the borrower. They don't follow the property. How interesting is that? I forget what other country does it. I want to say like Australia or something like that. But portable mortgages.
What do you mean? So tell me more about that.
Yeah, complete. I am not qualified to talk about.
Are we talking about tiny homes?
No,
RVs?
No. We're talking about a portable mortgage. So like, I qualify you, Luke Eccles, as a borrower, right?
Okay.
You get a mortgage on North Main Street, right? You want to move to 3 North Main Street. That mortgage follows you to the next house. I don't know the logistics of it. I don't know how
that's possible.
It's been talked about.
Gotcha.
And it's a foreign concept as far as I think like Australia or somebody uses this.
Gotcha.
Now, there's a bunch of logistics to work out from my end. The professional end is I make money when I sell you the mortgage, or I help you get into the home. If you decide to go and work with Joe Smith down the street for the second home on a portable mortgage, who gets paid, who does what? You know what I mean? What company does, what company gets, like...
Right.
Wild. But yes, portable mortgage are a concept that has been floated.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it makes sense. Like, I qualified you once. You're paying on time for this house. Let's just, check you. Let's not run you through the whole process again. Let's just make sure you can afford the bump up,
Right.
So
interesting.
Yeah. Portable mortgages.
Is there any other place in the world that's doing portable mortgages? You said Australia?
I think so. We would have to Google it.
Okay.
But I know there's another country that's
interesting
dabbled with it. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. It's also interesting to look at like follow a lot of like influencers like.
Oh sure.
Facebook doesn't know what to do with my algorithm.
Me neither, man. My Google targeted ads are insane.
Yeah, it's because like I'll be watching like people from Australia that just go and like live in the wild for 3 days fishing and hunting on an island.
I love that stuff.
To like
the bushcraft stuff.
Yeah, to like van life people, to like funny dog video. Like I'm all over the place. I'm not like a niche. Like I only watch these videos.
Yep.
But it's interesting to watch some of the influencers. These guys, some of them are American, that will move to Japan, where they'll buy a whole property for like $7,000.
Japan is having a big housing crisis right now.
A lot of Ireland, Italy, they're paying. Like Ireland will pay. You're probably living in the middle of nowhere,
right?
But they'll pay you like $90,000. And I'm sure the houses over there cost like $40,000.
Right, dirt cheap.
Like.
In American or the national currency?
In American, it is really fun, and I'm wondering what we're gonna run into, because our generation, like we've been looking at. I don't know if you've followed any of the statistics on China, with how they restricted that you could only have like one son. You couldn't have have girl and they did that for how many decades?
That was a big thing when we were growing up.
And I heard now it's devastating. They could be out of the race in like 10 years. Well, if you think about you have a whole 2-3 generations not having children, like kind of the biological essence of human beings and survival and evolution is based off like just the absolute fact of you just trying to multiply.
Yep.
So like we're we're at the point now where with technology or where we are as an evolved society, no matter what country you're in, our whole economy is built on that model of like our grandparents. Like my grandmother had 10 children.
Yeah, my dad's one of 6.
There's a reason why my grandmother was crazy. I mean, she was definitely a little evil in the head, but like you have 10 kids. I've heard every woman say this. Of course she was crazy. She had 10 kids. Like,
right.
But like, how many families are having more than 3 now?
A lot of people are taking their fur babies, and those are their kids.
Yeah, so now you have a question of like, how is that going to affect American society in 10 years as well, or 20 years? So there's a lot of really I think AI will kill us all before then. But anyway,
you think AI is going to come deadly,
dude?
It's making us dumb,
dude. No, have you watched the movie Terminator? I've been on the
iRobot.
Dude, all the movies are literally every single movie where we all die. It starts with AI. It literally it is the basis of every And have you read any of the things on security about it now? They're like, oh, we're screwed. Like they're just like, it's out of the bag.
Didn't it turn itself back on or something like that? They asked it. They were like, how would you avoid being shut up? And it was like, yeah, I just turned myself back on.
It's already.
Yeah. It's a little out of hand.
I'm just saying.
It's a little out of hand.
I'm just saying, what if it turns off all the internet for everyone around the world? Like, what would happen to us? We'd die.
Well, we already talked about the farmland in Pottstown, and
right. I'm moving in with Steven. I'm gonna live in a little shed on the back of his property.
All those YouTube videos you watch of those guys building and foraging and everything else is gonna come true.
I'm gonna go live with the Van Wives, the lesbian couple that lives up in Canada. That's another one I got into. Apparently, they were like influencers that lived in. They're a cute lesbian couple that lived in like a van, and now they have like 20
that
acres.
Be a joke, dude. You're gonna be living in a van down by the river.
Now it's like cool.
Now it's like all right,
yeah.
I have a couple friends who've tried that, and it was not for them. It was not for them.
I get it.
The size of the dog. You have like a medium sized dog, right?
It's like 30 pounds. He's a little meatball. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably like he's like the length and the size of your dog, but just a sausage.
Yeah. You wanna live in a van with him?
I got him under control in the last 3-4 years.
All right.
I alphaed him.
Sure.
I got that Jack Russell Cocker Spaniel part of him under control. He was insane.
But you brought up Canada. Fun fact: in the United States, when we qualify you for a mortgage or whatever, we use your before tax income.
Right.
So you have your net and then you have your gross. We use the gross.
Right.
So in Canada, crazy, and this is, I don't think they're having as bad of a housing crisis as we are. They use the after tax to qualify you. So It's much harder to qualify in Canada.
Interesting.
Yeah. Just a little difference between our neighbors upstairs and us.
Yeah.
So
the funny argument I keep hearing from people is like, Canada has free healthcare. We should have free. I'm like, yeah, but do you know if you have like cancer, like you have to wait 1.5 years for your next doctor appointment?
I called my primary today, and I'm still waiting on a call back because I was in the queue.
American healthcare is not much better.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, we should have it like Canada. I'm like, they come here. They come here because like if you get diagnosed with something serious, like you can't get an appointment for like a year.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wait.
I remember calling 2024 I was trying to switch primary care. Mm-hmm. My appointment is August 2026. Now, this is like the gentleman has a reputation of he's the best in the area, XYZ, right. But just trying to switch doctors was a little bit of a headache.
I remember looking for somebody that was not only a family doctor, but also was like more on the holistic side as well.
Love that. Dude, far and few between. Dude,
there are not a lot in this area, and there's a waiting list of this was 4 years ago. Mm. There was a waiting list of I would have been like 200 something on the list.
Yikes! Like
before you even like not like waiting to get on his list.
Yeah. The list before the list.
The list before the list, My ex works in like at a retirement home. She's a PT, and like I don't want to live long enough to have to be in a retirement home.
No, I hear you, man.
I do with American medicine and everything. It's scary.
Yeah, it's tough. I tried to be a nurse right out of
Did
college. Yeah, right out of high school. Yeah.
I mean,
not for me.
If it's something that you enjoy and you like, there's always jobs in the medical with the nursing. And like, you're always going to be, if you have a work ethic, you're always going to find something. There's usually benefits, not that they're the best benefits, but like, that's definitely a good field to go to school for.
Consistency.
Right. That would absolutely be a thing. Like, hey, yes, go to college to become or wherever. Do you have to go to college?
To what? A nurse?
To become a nurse?
I mean, yeah, for the degrees, like the bachelor's and the associate's in nursing.
Is it 4 years of college and then okay.
And then there's other healthcare positions underneath that are like 6-month program, 8-month programs.
Right. I knew there were programs. I didn't know if you had to do 4 years of college.
Well, yeah. You don't it's not a necessary or a necessity.
Oh, okay.
But you probably should go if you want like a decent salary or like, you know.
So, I don't know if you know this, but I'm building a website right now for she's a teacher. She's going to start doing math tutoring.
Sick.
Her husband hired me to do the site and everything, and he goes, "Oh, did you know? A lot of colleges don't even want you. They don't care if you do SATs anymore. They're not looking at SATs.
What are they looking at?
Your grades, your like what you've been involved in, like
the extracurriculars.
The actual stuff that matters, not some test that you learn how to take. That
makes sense.
What, dude? When we were in high school,
when you put it like
and
that,
I had to take the SATs, I'm like, wait a minute, I have to learn just how to take this test.
Yeah.
For one time in my life, there's nothing else. There's nothing else that this is preparing me for.
I don't even remember my score to the SAT. Do you?
Mine was not good.
Yeah.
Mine was like I took it and I was like quarter of the way through and was like, F this test. And I just started I just filled in bubbles for the rest. I was like I hate this.
Yeah. Standard is not standard.
I still got a scholarship.
Well, yeah.
But yeah.
And here you are doing video.
Here I am doing video. Look at me now.
We all have our own path.
But
So we got how did we get here? We got on the weight loss thing. Any professional goals or anything like that?
Again, kind of like what you were talking about, I'm really trying to like we said, Phoenixville was rated one of the number one towns to live in the country last year. Was it last year or the year before? Either 2024 or 2025.
It's been so long.
But
we're 5 days in. Dude.
We're 5 days in.
Get your act together here.
But I think that's kind of the goal I started with this talk show, was to really kind of uphold Phoenixville and what's going on. So I'm looking to I've got Luke O'Brien on my list.
Love that guy.
I've known him for 20 years.
He just started doing social media for Harris Hill.
Dude, he's
great guy.
I need to pick his brain because I mean he's got like tons of staff. I'm like I've got like 2 people I'll hire here and there for like if I have a really elaborate logo design that's out of my realm, I'll hire a guy, or I have a guy for like coding, which I haven't had to hire a guy on it. Unless I have like 3 websites I'm trying to finish in 2 weeks, I'll have the guy do some extra stuff for me. But like I'm a one-man shop, but I want to pick his brain. Just because he's like, how many people is he doing on this strip now? Like 5 or 6 at least. I know he does Gap, he does Bistros. I think now.
Oh, is he on Bistros?
I think he is, because if you look at how he does the marketing, he's a videographer by background.
Right.
I don't think he does like web design.
He's a rapper too.
Dude, he's a really good. Luke O'Brien is an amazing musician.
Yeah.
That's how I met him. He was in a rap rock soulful like funk-ish type band in the early 2000s, and what really got everyone's attention was he shot their music video, and there was this part of the music video where he gets jumped, and they start shoving his head in the water. And he like filmed. He did the behind the scenes. He's like, here's how he filmed the scenes of me being, because there was like a camera at the bottom of like, and like he's being pushed down. And you can see him like fighting and what like you're like, how'd you do that? And he just had this really cool way that he like shot it. It was like in like a bucket. Like it was really cool how he did it.
Nobody thinks of that.
Dude, it was
like where the camera is and how the camera got there.
It was straight.
We all take that for granted.
It was straight cinematography magic.
That's amazing.
And I remember like he's a really good dude, really nice guy, amazing musician. And now like what he's doing with the Not Pizza brand,
awesome.
Him and his partner, like he's making music for like each client's place. Mm-hmm. He's just what he's doing is kind of my goal this year is to really solidify like my musical talent and creativity with the videos I'm doing.
I love that.
And I think where these are going to go is going to kind of be almost a market. I want to almost do like a marketing package with them for, so like let's say like Billy wants maybe he only wants to do an episode, whatever. But like I'll have a package thing where it's like, hey, like we'll come in, we'll film, we'll do promo videos with the company, and then like we can also include them in the podcast.
Sure.
So kind of almost make it like a content package,
like an extra oomph.
An extra oomph. So it's like, you know, like, or instead of like if they're paying, you know, part of the money is going to like, all right, we're coming to your place with the equipment, and like we're filming at your place.
Cool.
So like it becomes almost their like. Now they have.
It's kind of a one-stop shop, if you will.
Right.
Like outlet here. This is what I'm doing.
Well, it's basically now, like I have a client, I just did their website. It's a guy who bought an auto repair shop in Pottstown that's been there for like 40 years.
Shane?
No, but I do know Shane.
Okay.
He's a good guy.
He's wild.
I might be doing some SEO and stuff for him. He's a good guy.
He's a good dude.
But he knows this guy, and part of the package was like, I'm doing the website, so I came in, made the content, but like he's still cleaning out the shop because it's a guy that's been there for 40 years. So, like 40
years is a lot of crap.
40 years is a lot of crap.
Yep.
So like part of the money is over the next year, every 3 months, I'm going to come in, make more content, update the website. Like they don't really want to do marketing because he's got like one other guy and he's got plenty to do.
Yeah.
So he's just like, I don't want to be turning people away. But like, that's kind of the idea is like with these, it's like, okay, here's X amount of dollars. We'll do a podcast. We'll write, what do you want to talk about? We'll write up the script. Mm. But then also when we're doing it at your place, like we'll come in, I'll film like the chefs making stuff. Like now you have content pieces,
the
B-roll stuff. And then they can use that for their ongoing marketing. You know, that's the big thing is people don't have the time to make the content usually, and even if they do, they don't know how to make great content.
Yeah.
So I feel like that.
Yeah, there's a huge difference between you coming in and filming. You know, let's just say this we'll get meta again.
Sure.
This podcast, like if I tried to do this on my own, it'd be me with my cell phone camera.
Yeah.
You know,
which I've done that before. Yeah.
Sure. And you can get away with it for so long.
Right.
But let's be honest, people are going to take this much more seriously from a content standpoint.
As you saw with the Chamber of Commerce.
Right. Right.
Which speaking of, we want to get into that nonprofit.
Yeah, she would kill me if I didn't.
Yeah. I want you to last your wedding.
Yes. So, Emerson Cairns, I think that's how you say her last name, but she's part of that Phoenixville Next Wave high school student.
She's like 17.
17. Started Kids Closet, a nonprofit for prom dresses and like prom attire for those who like have socioeconomic needs.
Sure.
Really cool stuff.
That is cool.
Really cool stuff.
So what they provide dresses for?
It's like a boutique. It's, you know, you walk in, I don't know about you, but I've never worn a prom dress.
Not that
I'll
admit.
admit on camera. Yeah, exactly. That's one of my bits for the wedding. Like I'm like, Emily got the dress, and I look fantastic in it.
Tried it on myself.
But she offers a boutique for those who need it. All donation based, really, really cool stuff. But where I met her was Walk a Mile. And Walk a Mile is separate from that, but she hosted it in Reeves Park over here. It is, let me check my notes, an international men's march to end sexualized violence. All that suffice it to say, it is really hard to walk a mile in high heels. I really have a lot of respect for women who wear high heels consistently.
Oh, it's a mile walk in high heels?
It's so hard, Luke.
Listen, ladies, you look fabulous in your heels. Don't attack me. I'm not attacking how you look.
So appreciative.
I love how women look in heels. But I also look at it and I go, girl, you don't need to kill yourself.
There's a reason their shoes come off at weddings.
There's a lady who I've had some time with. Every time she drinks too much, she always does the heel. I'm going out. I'm going to wear my heels. Those are always off. Usually, I'm carrying her by the end of the night. I'm like, they look like torture devices to me. That's all I'm gonna say. You look great in them, ladies. Don't attack me, but they look treacherous.
I walked a mile in high heels. Really? They are treacherous. They are absolutely treacherous. Beauty is pain. But anyway,
a mile in high heels.
It's rough. I'm gonna do it again this year. Yeah. I don't know when they're having it, but I will keep everybody posted.
Let me know. I'll come and video you.
Yeah, it was me and Cholt, me and Christopher Holt doing that.
Chris Holt?
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Yeah, great dude. Talking about musicians with other businesses.
Dude, I've known him since 2003.
Yeah.
When he was in Shovelhook.
I was gonna say Shovelhook. Yep.
I remember going and seeing his band play at the Grape Street Pub when they were when it wasn't the little venue, when it became that big. You probably weren't old enough to go there then.
How dare you?
You were.
No, you're right.
You're what, 30?
I'm like 9 years younger. I'm 33.
33. Yeah. So you were 10. Yeah. It was.
So.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Grape Street Pub is this like little pub with like a nice like stage, and like it fit like maybe 100 people uncomfortably.
Got it.
100 people max.
Got it. Your little hole in the wall concert venue.
And then they like got big money or like another investor, and they went to like this huge building a block away, and it was like big live room when you walked in, and then you like there was a room in the back that was like DJ that fit another 200, like you could fit 200 something people in the live room, another 200 in the DJ room. And then there was like another room upstairs with a bar that was like fit like 70 people uncomfortably. It was just this big like Brownies 23. It was like a party. Sure. It became more of a party college place than the original Grape Street Pub was more like you went there for original music. It was more of a like that environment.
Yeah, I gotcha. Like an open mic kind of vibe.
Yeah, a little bit more of an open. Yeah, but like when they went to the big place, that's where I saw Shovelhook play. And Shovelhook had opened for like Hoobastank. Like they played with like a ton of huge bands. They were like that local band that was metal rock for early 2000s.
Chris can scream.
Yeah.
Chris can scream.
Yeah. I
also know another guy who can scream a little bit.
I do a couple screams here and there at the Sunblind shows just to pique all those guys' interests.
Yep.
New stuff will have some heavier. We're working on recording.
I was gonna ask you, how is Sunblind?
Good. It was our other guitarist Scott, who has a bunch of recording equipment now. We're gonna be recording. He's just in like too many bands right now, so it's been really hard to.
Must be nice.
Must be nice. No. But I'm hoping I'm not booking anything till like April. So the goal is like I wanted to have at least 2 songs recorded already, but that didn't happen.
Dude, we're 5 days into the new year. Don't worry about it.
No, dude, it's all I gotta push these guys.
Sure.
But I want to have at least 3 like new songs like recorded and like to put out by like April. I'd love to do more, but we'll see.
Sure.
But But yeah, I want to, and then I would like to do music videos for like each one. Because I mean.
You going vinyl?
Here. We'd have to do a full length.
You would. The people are begging for it.
They are
I'm begging for it, not the people.
Maybe that'll be my end of the year goal.
Yeah, you gotta have something fun mixed in there.
Maybe we put out like 2 or 3 EPs of 3 or 4 songs, and then like.
It does get expensive. Heads up,
dude. I know.
Yeah.
Like if you want to do a run, like the minimum run is like 100 or 200, and that's gonna be like $3 or $4 grand.
Yep.
Like again, you do have a good profit margin on selling the vinyls, but like
they're cool.
But it's $3 or $4 grand. Like like I know a guy who like he made this amazing album. It was like a throw together band. He put it on vinyl. Like he spent like $4 grand on vinyl, and like I don't think he was even selling them. He was just like he wanted to create it. He wanted to put it out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really good album. And like I think they played 1 show.
Nuts.
But like it was kind of like it was kind of.
You want to talk business? That's not great business.
He wasn't doing it like business. That's what it was. Just like he wanted to put it out. I think it was his like.
Well, now he has it. It's his opus.
I think I was just gonna say he wanted his opus, and he did create it.
Yep.
So like I get like, and that's the thing is like people like my dad would be like, "How much money are you making?" But like at the same time, now he has like 2 kids, I think.
And
so like
he's got a vinyl. 2 kids and a vinyl.
He's I get that. Like he can be like 50 years old and be like, I put out this masterpiece of work, did on my
Yep.
He like it costs him money, but
sure. At the end of the day,
it's a good piece of work.
Yep.
It's something he can brag about. A lot of guys don't even have that.
No.
And they'll brag about anything.
Are you a Stranger Things guy?
So I watched season 1 when it came out. I need to go back and like I don't even remember. Right. I don't.
My logic on it is the internet hates everything.
Yep. Yeah.
The internet hates everything.
So I had a viral video this week.
Congrats. What was it?
It's a clip of like just me rocking out to one of my favorite Paramore songs.
Sick.
I think I'm at 1.1 million views on TikTok.
Let's go.
For Off the Record, and then it's almost at 1 million on my YouTube for Off the Record.
Nice.
And it's like 40,000 on Instagram. But the reason why it's trending so much in all my viral videos is if this is a little marketing concept for all you guys. If you can phrase the caption in a way, and you got to work with the content on this, to where it causes people to argue.
I get it.
Sometimes it's not gonna be the argument you went for or you thought was gonna happen. It's one guy. It's a song that Paramore didn't play for like a decade because she's got this line where she's like it's a really.
Is it that A5 note thing?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And everyone's like, what? Axl Rose did. This guy did. Metallica did. And it's like, yes, they sing their lines, but like. Haley Williams had like when I had the guy that manages Creed for sound, Kyle. When I had Kyle Gerhardt on, one of the things I asked him was like, what are some of the vocalists that you've done sound for that just blew you away? Just their vocal quality where you're just like, holy crap, this isn't any of my plugins, this isn't any of my mics that's making them sound amazing. They have an amazing voice. And his top person the first time I interviewed was Haley Williams.
That's awesome.
And
just sheer raw natural talent.
And the thing that people are arguing, they're like, well, people are like, this singer's better. They would do like, I'm like, here's the thing, that vocal line was irritating her vocals. You're talking about a band that plays for an hour and a half at least a night, probably longer. Like they probably headline for 2 hours now. So like as a singer, it's not like she's singing quiet stuff. Like she has punch. To all of her songs are like
heartfelt, emotional.
But also like if you listen to the vocal, like those vocal lines are really tight. They fluctuate a lot. Like she's using like all of her muscles.
Mm-hmm.
You get doing that every night, like that. people blow out their vocals sometimes.
I got winded singing karaoke.
Dude, like that's.
I got winded singing Christmas karaoke.
Yeah.
Just being a goofball
Right.
up on stage, and I was like, I don't know how. It's truly a workout.
Dude, it's like people don't realize like look at Taylor Swift. Like whether you love her or hate her, the Eras tour, she made like literally $1 billion. $1 billion on a tour. She would play for 2.5 to 3 hours. She's running around, costume changes. Mm-hmm. Like
I've never seen a sunblind costume change, by the way.
That's on our OnlyFans.
Okay,
you'll have to.
Just saying, ending your goals might not be
ending
vinyl.
Their goals
might not
be vinyl, but it's going to be OF. But no, like you look. So that when I don't know if you watched the New Heights episode where they had the Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce's show when they had her on
because football and Taylor Swift are a thing.
They are now. It is now.
And that's strategic. You know that for like you were talking about. Hey, if you can get somebody to argue, the cross branding between Kansas City Chiefs and Taylor Swift.
She has brought them way more money.
And them to her.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It is very, very symbiotic.
It's one of the things that Gary Vee talks about because a lot of the sports guys are like, women in sports are like,
dude.
And Gary's just like, I love it. He goes, now you get to see that football dad bringing his 10-year-old daughter to a football game and having that magical moment. And he's like, that's beautiful. Mm-hmm. That like, and what she has created for that football brand, I think they're going to be talking about that for the next 2 decades.
Oh, 100%.
Like, what she's achieved as a business owner is insane. But also, like, what she was talking about with Travis and them is, like, she's performing just as long as they are. Actually, she's actually she might be moving around more than they are.
Sure.
So, like, that was one of the things they had a conversation with was, like, they both are very physically active. And she's like, yeah, I'm running around for 2 to 3 hours.
While literally, like, wasting my breath. You know what I mean?
Like not only moving around, but singing.
Yeah.
And, like, so, like, she, like, that was one of the things she talked about. It was that's what was really interesting about that episode was it's the longest I've ever seen her talk.
Okay.
It's the longest interview she's ever done.
Sure.
And it was with her fiance. Well,
not soon to be.
He was the fiance at the time.
Was the fiance at the time.
Yeah. So I did get a confirmation from somebody that we know here in town that she was going to be on the show, even though it wasn't. It was. Yeah, I won't say who.
Do you know some professional podcast people?
I know somebody that does security for one.
Sure, got it. Got it.
But no, like it's really impressive because it shows you, like she's working out just as much as an NFL.
Yeah.
Like player, and if you sing at karaoke, you understand. Like it's 3-4 minutes, and you're winded.
I'm huffing and puffing.
She's doing it for like 3 hours.
3 hours, just nonstop.
Yeah. But yeah, But going back to how I got a viral video, it's always getting people to argue. Because, like you said, people will argue over anything online.
The internet hates everything.
Like the viral video I had 3 years ago with like Liz, it was half the guys were saying she was hot, they wanted her, the other half were saying she was ugly. They never. Then it's just dudes fighting over whether she's hot or ugly.
In the comments
for
yep.
And like sometimes I go in there and troll them, just stir the pot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so yeah, my New Year's goals is to really push. Again, starting out with a viral video for the year is beyond what my expectations were. And we are sitting on an interview that I did with the sound guy for Creed.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for management to approve that. I don't know how long. That could take a year. Who knows?
You'll get there.
But
sure.
Still, it's like now I have, hey, like if you're coming on the show, just you're the smallest guy. But honestly,
that's how you sold it to me.
But honestly, it is really good for local guys.
Yeah.
Like I might not really tell them but like if you're in a local band and like I'm probably gonna get like 5, 6, 7 episodes done before they approve that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's who knows who I'll have in between, but like
sure,
local bands like now that it's out, then we're releasing the episode with the guy that does sound for Creed. Like that will open up a lot of me messaging guys.
Bigger doors.
I've been talking to one of the guys from Me Without You as well. Like I've got stuff in the guy from Dangerous Summer. So I have like a lot of indie bands that are big, not as big as Creed, but that's my goal this year. So like really dive hard. I'm diving back into Redbeard a lot harder now.
Cool, man.
Got a couple more clients. So like I'm trying to build Redbeard to where I'm making like 6 figures. I need to push. I haven't been pushing at all.
Something in where you were talking got me to that point. Like when do you feel the need to give up control? Like for me, I have those same like 6-figure goals, and I want to close this many loans and help this many people and XYZ. And I am, I guess, scared is the appropriate word, or reserved is when do I give up that control to hire on someone to help me take on the workload?
Right.
Because there are a lot of behind the scenes stuff that goes into my profession and everything. Sure. When do I know I'm at that breaking point, and when do I know that I can maintain that level of sales / volume / whatever?
Right.
Because obviously, I can be a one-man show and be everything to everybody.
Right.
But do you have a certain like threshold that you
absolutely
right?
Absolutely. I would say when I get to like, again, my focus is I'm a lot more focused now. But I think when I get to like 12 clients for marketing, that's probably when I'm going to have to hire someone extra.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you start getting into like 12
balls to juggle.
And I mean like serious marketing packages.
Sure.
Like that's the thing when people are like, what is your pricing? I'm like, what do you need? Like, like somebody's like, what's your website design?
Dude,
right? Like, I have a minimum of like, I'm like, I don't do a site for less than 2,500. Like, and that's like a 3-page basic SEO. Like, but like people are like, oh, that's expensive. I'm like, go talk to the guys that have the big offices. They're gonna charge you twice that for less.
You're talking to a guy who has the question built into the industry. What's your rate?
Yeah.
Well, what's your situation? Are you looking at a 30? Are you looking at a 15?
Yep.
How long do you want to stay in the house? Tell me your vision.
There's so many.
And I'll tailor fit it to you.
Yeah. That's the thing with what I do is like it's just so much. Do you need a logo? Do you need aggressive SEO? Do you need just local? Do you need ongoing marketing? Do you need me to come in and do content? There's so many and like when people sometimes I'll give somebody a price, they'll be like, "Why is it so much?" I'm like hire an IT guy for 40, 50 hours. Like they're $150 an hour for a decent IT guy times 50 like that.
My brother's kid knows computers.
You should hire your niece that does duck face selfies to do your business.
Right.
That's actually the funny thing that I've seen over the last 10 years is like where they're like, even if they do have like a family member, like a brother that does web design, usually they aren't web designers. It's usually like an IT guy that
does it on
he can build one, but like he has no if you're getting a website built, you want somebody. Here's where IT guys fail. They don't see marketing. So when you're based on like how are you building the website is a very important question. Like what's it being built in?
Sure.
Like it should be in WordPress.
Isn't like 99% of the internet WordPress?
Most. But the thing is like IT guys, like depending on when they went to school for their IT, like they might be building websites like you learned to build websites in 2008. 2005 and the thing is like IT guys are I can't do stuff they do. I'm not talking down about IT guys. Like But they also are usually very socially inept, which doesn't work well for marketing.
Sure.
So, like, that goes into how they build websites as well. Like, I know a person that owns a marketing company, and she's like, so this guy we were using for hosting, and we just do this for the client, but, like, he says he can't update any of the websites because it takes an hour to do one, like, to update one sentence on the website. And I'm like, he's an IT guy. She's like, well, I don't know that. I'm like, absolutely an IT guy. No web designer that has any sort of marketing mind will build a website where it would take you more than a minute to change a line of wording on a website. Like, but it's because he built the website. Is like
he knows
it's
ins and outs
done.
of the codes.
He just did in hard code.
Yeah,
So
sure.
so now if you want any changes, it takes an hour. Like,
because he's got
coding's like $100 an hour.
It's a complete language unto its own.
So, like,
Tried that too.
Right. So if you're building a website and you have to redo code to make any updates, like,
yeah, because as soon as you change it, you're gonna break it, and then you have to figure out what you broke, and then you. Yeah.
But only changing, like, we're talking about, like, you should be
a period to an exclamation point.
I almost do a blog post every other day for Redbeard on my website. So, like, I'm updating my website, like, all the time. Like, a business should be doing the same. Again, they don't always have the budget for that.
Well, that's what social media allows.
Right, but
it's free, quote unquote. And don't get me wrong, in my industry, you're not going. I don't see social media as bringing me in the leads, so to speak.
Right.
But it's
part of the funnel. But
it's my digital storefront.
Right.
People see me. They feel like they know me. They feel comfortable picking up the phone, texting, DMing, whatever that might be. It's the digital storefront, and it's free, if you will.
Sure.
Now, again, we were just talking about the quality of content.
Sure.
Much different than me going, "Hey guys, how you doing?"
Right.
Versus what we're doing here.
Yeah.
But yeah. No.
Yeah. It's I don't know how
it's the next extension.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
It's cool.
But yeah, that's I've got some music expenditures for this year. I'm also.
That's one thing I'm looking at too. I'm in the mindset of running my business like a business. So I'm really diving into Microsoft Excel a lot. Like, just keeping track of it all, because no matter what industry you're in, you need to know your numbers.
Yeah.
You know that it takes 12 to get to that next level. Your 12 might be my 30.
Right.
But you need to know the numbers. Yeah. So, yeah, that's one thing I'm absolutely focusing on for this year is keeping track of, like, budgetary.
Right.
Like, budgetary versus, I had 5 leads come in and I closed 1, so that's I'm a 20%, whatever that might be.
Right.
Super helpful, especially here in, if you get it done and post it in January, whatever. Right. But any time of year to sit down and look at that and then revisit that once every, like, quarter or whatever that means, just to give yourself a little, like, I'm on track for what I talked about.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I also have a film idea that I pitched to the Aidens. Do you know Ryan Conroy? He's a town.
I can only imagine.
Town historian.
I can only imagine what your film idea is going to be.
So
I'm buckled in.
He's the town historian for Phoenixville and the town historian for Royersford. So he does the pop-up events sometimes with Celso downstairs.
Okay.
And
town historian.
Town historian.
Very familiar. Knows this building was this.
He lived in this. He lived in this building 10 years ago for like 10 years. Like.
Okay. So
apparently, there's something that lives here as well. So for Halloween month, he did, like, he talked about, like, what buildings are haunted, some of the stories. So when I came up with the idea for the show, it's going to involve the Aidens, it's going to involve me, Celso, and Ryan Conroy, and Mayor Peter as well.
Sure.
But apparently the town library is one of the most haunted buildings on the East Coast.
Over there by the park, like off the beaten path?
Yep.
Apparently
a show, one of those haunting shows, recorded there in like 2013. They got video of, like, all the books being thrown off the shelf in the middle of the night, like all kinds of crazy stuff. So
I got chills.
So, like, I talked to Ryan. I was like, why don't we shoot our own like Phoenixville based show? And then he's like,
you going ghost hunting?
Yes.
Cool.
First episode might be this building.
Yeah.
Just because it's easier because we have everything here.
Very cool.
But then the library. And he also has like he said Gap. Gap has stories.
That makes sense. Gap's a very old building.
A Colonial.
Okay. The Blob. The Blob.
Also, I don't know if you've heard any of the stories about Root Down.
The
right.
Superior Beverage.
So the owner told me a story about 3 months ago to Mike. He had 2 people on staff. They were closing down for the night. And he said he was down in the basement shoveling ice. They have the ice maker down there. He's shoveling ice. End of the night, he's just like, I want to get out of here. Like, and he said while he's working, somebody came up and he just went, hold on. And he shows, and what? Turns, no one's there.
Ew.
It was one of those, like, somebody came right up to him, and he's like, hold on.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of...
Turns, no one's there. And again, also, I was told there's a bunch of mannequins down there in that basement, too. So
Yuck.
He goes running around the basement. No one's down there. He goes upstairs. He's like, were you guys just down here? And they're like, no. One person was in the bathroom mopping. The other person was sweeping in the corner. Yeah. And, like, they went down with him. They couldn't find anyone. And he was like...
I'm picturing, like, a black figure just whoosh.
He's like,
then gone.
He's like, dude, I don't believe in this stuff. He's like, and that just happened to me. So, like, that's on the list. Dude, yeah. So... I think a Phoenixville ghost hunting
that would be really cool
show. I think it's something that the town would totally gather around.
Absolutely. Did you go to Firebird this year, by the way?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Incredible.
Dude, we got there at 4:30.
Yeah.
We got like right in front of it, like right at the gate. Yeah. We brought all of our own stuff.
Sure.
We had hot cider and a little something to add to it. It was your
party favorite.
It was a great year.
Yeah, it was really cool. I really enjoyed the poem.
The what?
The poem during the lighting.
Oh yeah.
Really brought it all together. Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
Anyway,
yeah.
Gather around ghosts, dude.
Yeah. So that's my That's kind of what I'm pitching to them, because they are looking to do short films and everything.
Solid idea.
So I think that'll also help like grow all the other channels.
Would you set up the cameras and just let them record like time lapse type stuff?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So we'll see. You know, if you talk to the Aidens.
Yeah.
You know, I keep telling Ryan, I'm like, just push it. Like he was on their show apparently.
I'll get my library card.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's actually where the future of Redbeard is going. Is more
just you having fun versus
more entertainment video.
Yeah, I like that.
I
like that a lot.
I might phase out of doing the web design and all that stuff at some point, or I might.
You can always keep it.
Or I might just have a staff to do it, like as the channel's bringing in business. Mm. But I think that's my year goal, is to really build up these channels with authentic content, because I've been as somebody that consumes content, like there's a lot of just trash content out there.
Do you want to know my most successful videos?
Yes.
Just me being me.
Yeah.
I record mortgage, like I was saying, my digital storefront. We, know, 50-year mortgage, whatever. When the headlines break, record it, whatever.
Yeah.
My most successful videos are just me being me. Like if I'm being a goofball in one of them, bing, it'll pop.
Yeah.
You know, like it's people want the humanity back. Mr. AI is gonna kill everybody.
That's why they want it back.
Yeah. You know how you can tell? Because my hands are feet. Like, what's the best pizza in Phoenixville? I feel like that's a goal for 2026. We should probably figure that out. I'm going Hog Island.
You think they have the best pizza?
It's fantastic. The quality of ingredients is just top notch. And it's always so sloppy. Anytime
I really like their Strombolis.
Okay.
Their cheesesteaks are pretty good. They're huge. They're huge.
Cheesesteaks are out of this world. Yeah.
I haven't had a Hog Island. Well, it's been 2 years since I lived in town. Yeah. Mm-hmm. My go-to in town is Grace's.
Okay.
Have you had Grace?
Right there on Main Street.
Right here, yeah.
Yeah. I have not.
It's not the best pizza I've ever had, but it's kind of like Lorenzo's, like the big size. It's just like one of those you throw like Parmesan or whatever you want on top. It's just always really consistent. It's not like the most amazing pizza, but it's good.
Sure.
At least that's the problem with town here is there's really not a lot of good pizza.
The late night is gone too.
Yeah.
Like the late
during
night.
the winter, there's no late night food. I mean, there's.
Insomnia
I'm not even
cookies.
gonna talk about the.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. There really isn't a lot of late night food anymore. Like Three Brothers closes early during the winter. They're like, we're not. Yeah. They wait till that summer, get those summer rushes.
Yeah.
But I guess we're not allowed to have a food truck in town. I guess
I'm also not up late night anymore. Let's be honest.
I'm not. Yeah.
Like 10 o'clock hits and my old bones go. Oh.
There has to be a special occasion for me to be out late on the weekends now.
What'd you do for New Year's?
So we played at Rec Room.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
How did it go?
It was good. It wasn't as we thought it was going to be sold out packed. It was 100 something people, 120 or something like that.
Better than zero.
It was mostly for our set. Probably 20 minutes into our set started filling out, and then Florida Wayne set, and then some people stayed for the last band. They were going to do a champagne toast at the end of the night, and
Did you guys play up until or past midnight?
No.
Okay.
No.
Gotcha.
I don't think anybody was there by midnight.
No. That's kind of what happened we went to a little house party, and midnight the ball dropped, kisses, whatever.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah. I could have gone to some of my friends had things at houses and stuff, but by the time I like to stay for all the bands I play with.
Yeah, of course.
They
support you. You support them.
We were the opener because the other two guys are in Hot Damn It, and they played at Molly's. Mm-hmm. So we were first, which is I love playing first because then I get to
hang out.
I don't really drink before I play.
Sure.
So then I can have a couple drinks, hang with friends.
That's cool.
Not that I had 2 drinks that night.
Right.
Because I was driving, but yeah, I'm not out late in town. I don't know.
I know.
It's all really young kids in town, so
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not trying to date 20-year-olds
there's
really.
Nothing out there. There's
Yeah.
For guys like
that. I've got stuff I can go.
Yeah.
I got people's houses I can go to.
Right.
Or I can just go home.
Mm-hmm. And home is always a viable option.
Yeah.
Always a viable option.
Yeah. No, I had a good New Year's. It was good hanging out with I love the guys from Florida Wayne Band.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know those guys. They're great.
I've
great
seen
dudes.
them around. I'm sure we've shaken hands.
Great dudes.
XYZ.
And 2 of those guys are dads, so they're not out much.
Perfect. Perfect.
So I got to kind of hang with them a little bit. Their wives were there. I love their wives. They're great great women. Yeah, I just hung with friends. Celso they had him as a guest bartender.
Oh, that's cool.
So he was behind the bar. Yeah, it was a good night. It was a fun night. They were trying to get me to go to Molly's afterwards. I was like,
yeah, of course. Where? Oh, PJ's is gonna be an oyster house.
Yeah, Bistro bought it.
That's neat. Oh, Bistro bought it.
Bistro bought it. I have high hopes because what they did with that upstairs at Bistro and the downstairs, redoing that whole place. I know they spent $1.3 million, and they do business really well. Yeah, they know what they're doing. So I think that was one of the things that Kyle was talking about. He was like, PJ's is a steal right now. I'm like, I don't know. They're asking $3 million, needs $1 million worth of work. He was crunching the number. He's like, you could easily do it. I'm like, yeah, you can, but
do you want to?
Yeah, but it's do you have the staff to do it?
Do you want to?
Yes, you can, but Bistro has that down. They know,
yeah. They've taken an old building and revamped it. They can do it again.
I think they're going to annihilate town with that place. And again, I think that building will probably be unrecognizable.
Great.
By the time they're done, because
good.
I know how much work it needs, because the Aidens were looking at it. They looked at it because they're looking to at some point own something in town for this outfit, and they looked at it and they're like, that place needs at least $1 million worth of work. We know they had investors, and they're just like, "Oof!" They're like, "This is getting
pricey,
up there."
Yeah,
but also, I don't think we don't really have it's going to be like a oyster / steakhouse.
Yeah, I heard oyster bar, but if steakhouse is added in, that would just be a little cherry on top.
I'll find out. I've only heard the rumor mill on it, so we'll see.
Well, Bluebird is finally underway too. Bluebird should be done by the spring.
Yeah, I
obviously construction. I don't,
Yeah, whatever, I had chat with him about that.
Yeah,
because he supplied bottles for the Creed episode.
Oh, cool.
They're redoing that whole intersection downtown there too.
What's it gonna do?
So right where Bluebird's at, Star Street's supposed to go right past the bank. So they're gonna open up. So
Star Street's gonna go in between, right past the bank.
So what you remember, Customers Bank was that building?
I'm picturing.
And then Boardroom.
Yeah.
That field that's right there. It's gonna be road. They're opening that up.
That is so interesting.
Well, if you think about when the streets shut down,
it's
how.
Tough.
Well, yeah, but also how do you get into that parking lot? You either have to cut through the where Cousins is at, you have to cut through their parking lot, or you cut through the Customers Bank parking lot, or you go, if the street's not shut down, you go further past Boardroom, and so it is going to kind of open up that back parking lot up in that whole parking lot area.
Yeah, because those are condos.
Right, they're building condos right there with no parking.
I don't want to talk about that. We are not the main line just yet. They're so expensive.
We're building up, but we're not building more parking spaces.
Yeah, they're so expensive.
So, and that's everyone's complaint is parking in town.
Always. Never's not going to be. But I give my $5 to the church.
But that's the thing is
park there.
Everyone that gets mad about this, I go, listen, what town do you go to that you want to spend time at that has great parking?
Right.
There's Manioc is way worse.
Way worse.
I honestly stopped booking shows there because I couldn't find parking. Mm-hmm. And if I did,
for your show,
right? Yeah. And if I did find parking, it was not convenient at all. I get it, but Phoenixville really isn't. Yeah, you're gonna have to walk. If it's so crazy parking, but
everywhere else,
where
too.
Don't you?
Yeah.
That's where people get mad. The fact that they have to walk, and I get it. In the winter, it sucks.
Yeah, it's cold, but you take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
So, anything I want to end on? Don't call me for a 50-year mortgage.
No.
Don't do it. No. New year, new me, man. I'm getting married. I'm really excited about that. I'm really jazzed.
Where are you guys doing it?
Twisted Goat Farms. So you know how little outfit out in Spring City.
Okay.
You know how you do look at the camera and give the bride and groom messages or whatever?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a GoPro on a goat.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to talk to a goat, and yeah, that's gonna be really cool.
I saw one of those at the goat races.
Same guys.
All right. So, as a closing note, what kind of clients are you looking for this year? Who would need to talk to you? Why would they want to talk to you?
Right. Sure. Yeah, because my boilerplate answer has always been anybody with a pulse.
Sure.
Or realtors, financial planners, stuff like that. But if I'm dialing in and if I'm focusing on who I want to talk to, right now you have a lot of people who have equity locked away because of the low interest rate, housing prices going up exponentially, XYZ.
Right.
they're sitting on a lot of what you said, shell game money, right? They don't have access to that. It's not real.
Right.
I have things that can make it real, like home equity loans, products like that. And I really want to work with the move-uppers and the move-downers. I've set my business up for the first-time buyers, so I'm very, very well versed in all of those programs. But I really want to work with those families who need a little more space, or the kids went off to college, I need less space. Those are the ones for 26 I would love to help. I would be really, really, excited. So, how about you? What are you looking for?
I want to say one thing. One of the pieces of content I really liked that you were doing around the holidays was where you went to a local business and bought 2 gift cards.
My gifts of kindness.
The gifts of kindness. I really liked. That's a really good piece of content that I think you should.
I had a lot of fun doing that.
I know it's fun, but I feel like you should document it even more. Okay. I feel like that's a. There are so many influencers out there that are doing the whole like giving money to homeless and
keep it or double it.
Yeah, keep it or double it. Where I feel like what you were doing was a lot more like you're supporting local business, but you're also also it's only like $20. It's not like you're like it's not like you're killing yourself, but it's a cool little like if I walked into a place and somebody's like, oh, somebody got your meal today, like what you should do is get the video of them reacting, honestly. But I think
that's so tough. Like it is. It's tough in today's day and age because you want to do these acts of kindness, right? And I think that the greatest gift you can give somebody is doing them an act of kindness and not being found out about it.
Sure.
But other side of the coin, social media. People want to see the other side of the coin. Yeah,
I get it. Not everybody wants to be on camera, so I get it's. Yeah, it's definitely it's a tricky.
But that was a really cool series. I'm definitely gonna keep that up. Yeah. So stay tuned.
Okay.
Sporadically, I'm not gonna make a big thing of it, but sporadically, take a look and watch, and I'll probably,
Right.
The stick library was my. Coup de grace on that one, like my big crescendo at the end.
The stick library, what?
So, in one of the parks around town, you will eventually see a stick library to where your dog can go up and pick their stick that they get to carry around.
I like this
for concept. The rest of the day.
I like that concept.
So, just a wooden box stick library. It's gonna be It's gonna be really cool.
Okay.
So.
All right.
No, but thank you, man. I appreciate that.
No, I remember watching it and being like, all right, I need to say something to him. Like, it's a good piece of content.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. Man. Yeah, that's cool. What do you got in store?
So, I would say if you have a business and you don't have the budget to hire somebody full time to do your marketing, that's where I've stepped in. Like I'm doing marketing right now for a caterer at a Pottstown. I redid his website. His website was a mess. There was no clickable phone number. It was
yikes.
I came in, did content. I'm doing his posts every day. But I started doing a search engine optimization. I have him popping up for catering, first page of Google.
Sweet.
For Pottstown. Chester Springs.
Nice.
This is something that's where Redbeard will probably move to, where it's a business that needs heavy marketing per month, but maybe doesn't want to spend $5,000 to $6,000 a month to have an employee doing it.
Yeah.
Maybe their budget's $3,000 and it's they're not worrying about benefits for the person. So I think that's where we're going to be moving with Redbeard is helping with the content and pushing it out, and just filling in all those spaces of marketing that businesses don't have the time to do. But yeah, that's what I'm looking to do. I'm definitely looking to power up with some businesses for this show this year. So
that's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm really grateful to be on again. This is awesome. It's always a pleasure when our paths cross.
Yeah, so, it's always fun.
Dude, we're gonna kill it in 26, man.
I think this summer's gonna be a good year.
Yeah, definitely. We both have our visions. We both have our our game plan set. I'm excited.
I think one of the big things I'm definitely going to do this year with the street being shut down is going out and doing live interviews.
Awesome. Billy on the street.
Yeah.
Billy Eichner.
Right. But also, like, I might do a day where it's like we set up out front, like with a tent. I have like a setup like this. And I just like say, hey, you come at 1 o'clock, you come at 2 o'clock. And just have like business owners roll through.
That's cool.
And we talk about like, what do you have going on this summer?
That's
how are you marketing yourself with the street being closed?
You could tie that into like First Fridays and stuff too. Don't they do? They still do booths and tables and everything.
Yep.
That's a great idea.
That might be another thing. Is like maybe I go to I find business owners who want to do a 10-minute interview. I go to the booth and
bing bang boom.
Bing bang boom. But I think that's really where my focus is going to go this year. Is really, like you said, just pushing Phoenixville, because even though it's one of the number one towns, like,
it is.
We really don't have a whole lot of video footage of stuff going on here yet.
No, and I think like if you don't know about the goings-ons, it's very hard to find out. Like, there's a lot of stuff happening in this town that's very niche, and yeah, we can just blast it out.
I also like to kind of help some of the businesses that fight the road being closed, because like we'll close on this. Here's the thing. How many extra people come downtown when on First Friday when the road's closed, or for the weekend? Would you say they get like 20, 30,000 people on a busy weekend?
Weekends are definitely their bread and butter. If I had to put a number to it, yeah, definitely not now. Winter's
not now.
Winter's an anomaly. Your summer times, everybody wants to go down to Phoenixville. And
here's the thing: is like, there's a couple businesses that complain that hurts their business.
Okay. I don't see it.
From a business owner and a marketing perspective, they've just brought you an extra how many thousands of people down? Bodies downtown to your business. Are you open while the streets shut down?
That's a great point too.
I'm like, and listen, I get it. Maybe you have staffing issues or like, but like they're bringing an extra 10,000 people downtown. They're at your doorstep. Like, you just got to figure out. And this could just be you going out and filming people, asking them what they like about downtown, like being closed, and hosting it from like, hey, we're blah blah blah, we're on Main, like.
The ideas are there.
The people that complain, I'm like, listen, I get you're frustrated, but like, an extra 10,000 people in town, like minimum.
Yeah. And I'll come back to your staffing issue.
Yeah.
Like, excuse, if you want to call it that.
Excuse.
You are the business. It takes one staff. And it might not take one staff, but you're the owner.
Here's the thing: as a business owner, you're gonna hate this. You're gonna hate this.
Yeah.
You are always at fault, even if your employee messed up, didn't do something right with your business. As a business owner, you are at fault. But
that's a powerful statement, man.
But also, it means you have the power over your business.
Yeah.
So
change it.
I'm just saying, like, there are very few towns that shut down their streets in Chester County consistently. We are the top town. It makes us an anomaly. It makes us special. Mm-hmm. It brings people here. It's your job to figure out how to feed them. Capitalize it.
Yep.
They're giving you a bonus every week.
Yep.
And you're complaining about it. Sure, you can complain all you want. As my dad says, at the end of the day, you either have excuses or results. Which one did you make?
That's so good.
It's a phrase I hate.
Good.
It's a phrase I hate.
You heard it growing up.
It pisses me off when I only have excuses. But also,
you gotta get the results.
Who's pissing me off? I am.
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, love Phoenixville. I love what's going on here.
It is.
And I think this is going to be a really good year.
Yeah, and I appreciate you having me again, man. I can't.
Of course, dude.
Can't be grateful enough. So
let's just thank Colleen for not coming today. Colleen and Douglas, guys. Doug. We were supposed to have a third guest. She's got the sniffles.
Yeah, get well soon.
Get well soon.
So.
All right, bud.
All right, man. Dude, you were gonna fucking.